Just so you know, guys, I've been in the banking industry for like 10 years. My first job was sales associate. So I was the one who's like doing mapping and saturation ng isang area. So what I normally do is, kumakatok ako building per building. So like nilalakad ko yun. And then inaakit ko yung building, ask ako na pwede ko ba sila mag-open ng account. And then I'll offer different services ng bangko such as investment, loan, mga HRIS, mga disbursing and mga collecting payments. And even insurance. Super exhausting ng trabaho, but actually, yun yung pinaka naging training ground ko para siguro mapunta somewhere kung bakit nasan ako ngayon. So ngayon, meron mga account holders na normally they call every month for an interest rate. So, tatanong nila, ano interest rate nyo dyan? So, ang tawag namin sa kanila, mga rate shoppers sila. So, naghahanap sila ng mga investment vehicles na medyo maganda-ganda yung return. So, nag-range yan. Pinakamababa, 1 million, 5 million, 20 million, 30 million, 50 million. So, pinapark lang nila yung funds nila. Basta maganda-ganda yung interest rate. And ako, I always wonder, saan na nakukuha yung ganun kalaking pera? Parang, paano na nagawa yun? Kasi ako, I've been really wanted to become a bank manager. And actually, narating ko naman yung pagiging bank manager in a span of like 6 years. So, mabilis ako umakit ng ladder. Pero one thing I realized, parang nakakapagod na maging bank manager kasi nakakapagod ng magbilang ng pera ng ibang tao. And then I started dreaming of, what if ayoko na ng bank manager, but I want to become a money manager. Money manager of my own money. My dream was actually bigger, bolder, and more personal. Kasi I wanted to take full control of my own finances, my own future. I was so tired being stuck in the rat race cycle. And being an empleyado for the past 10 years, I know exactly how it feels like to be stuck in that cycle, nasasahod, gagastos, kukulang, uutang, sasahod na ulit, magbabayad ng utang. Hindi na naman sapat, uutang na naman. Tapos pag nagkaroon ng extra na pera, nagkaroon ng bonus, ang mentality agad is, ano kayang pwedeng bilhin ko? Ano kayang pwede kong gastusan? So I was like super tired with the program, with the system in my head na, bakit ba ako kating-kating gumastos? Whenever I have something extra, the chemicals in my brain always tell na parang, oy, gumastos ka, maghanap ka ng pagkakagastusan mo, mag-travel ka, bumili ka ng bag, bumili ka ng bagong shoes. Like, parang yung brain natin is always not comfortable in having money stuck in our wallet or in our banks. And whenever we see something na yung bank natin is lumalaki siya, parang we feel like na parang, okay, we have to spend. Kasi honestly, yung sahod naman natin is no longer a problem kasi umi-increase naman yan yearly. But the problem is really about our mentality, diba? So I made a big shift in my mindset when I start reading the book of first, inuna kong basahin kay Robert Kiyosaki. Sobrang taliwas kasi yung mga sinasabi niya compared sa kung ano yung normal na alam natin. So sobrang doon ako na mind blown nung binasa ko yung Poor Dad, Rich Dad and yung Cash Flow Quadrant. So yun yung dalawang yun na nagpapago ng talagang mentality ko about money. Another is lahat ng mga books ni Boss Sanchez binasa ko rin. Kasi I wanted my finances to be aligned sa kung anong divine plan sa akin ni Lord. Kaya yun yung talagang binasa ko. And sobrang helpful ng mga nabasa ko na libro ni Boss Sanchez. And doon na nagkaroon talaga ng paradigm shift sa life ko. Most especially sa finances side ng life ko. So, umabot ako sa bottom rock ng life ko wherein I was super desperate na makawala sa sitwasyon na ang hirap-hirap. Makawala sa sitwasyon ng utang, sa sitwasyon ng lagi ako naghahabol ng pambayad sa bills. Sa sitwasyon na parang bakit naiinis ako na ako yung nagbabayad ng lahat. Na bakit ako yung nag-shoulder ng mga gastusin sa bahay. And naiinis ako sa fact na naiinis ako. Kasi ayoko namang mainis. Kasi I should be happy paying those stuff. Kasi it's for my family. At the end of the day, pangalap ko naman talagang mag-provide para sa family ko eh. So bakit ako naiinis? Naiinis ako. Naiinis ako kasi kulang. So nagagets nyo ba? So now that I am experiencing an abundant life, looking back at those moments na, grabe, I'm just really glad na nakawala ako doon. Tinitingnan ko, ano yung pinaka naging trigger point before ako nag-shoot up paakyat. One thing na na-realize ko is, you have to hit the bottom rock. Kasi, yung brain natin, it's always programmed to put you in a place wherein comfortable ka. So, ikaw yung nagde-define kung ano yung comfortable sa'yo. So, normally, ang alam ng brain natin kung ano yung comfortable sa atin is yung lagi na natin ginagawa. Say, for example, sa trabaho mo, lagi mo siyang ginagawa, then that's your comfort zone. So, yung brain natin, akala niya dapat doon ka lang. Pero once you have hit the rock bottom and bumagsak talaga yung buhay mo at nagkaroon ng trigger sa life mo na talaga nagkaroon ka ng finances or financial problem, that's the time that desperation will come out. And yung desperation na yun yung gagawa ng way para ma-hit mo naman yung peak ng life mo. So right now, fast forward naman tayo. Every Monday, ang routine ko is I do manage my money. But one thing I realize is managing money, it's just not managing money. It's managing the risk. That is why I make it a point na well-diversified yung aking portfolio. So right now, I'm just gonna be showing you how I diversify my portfolio. Though, minimal lang yung papapakita ko sa inyo, yung mga available lang sa views ko. But, I'll share with you, just of course, to inspire you guys na one day, you can also become a money manager of your own money. Just like what I'm currently doing. Kasi, once in my life, I was once in your situation. I was just a dreamer. Once you know your destination, there's a high probability that the Lord will bring you to that destination even though na hindi mo pa alam kung paano at sa anong paraan. As long as you know your destination and well-defined yung iyong destination, then definitely you will get there. So, naka-diversify yung portfolio ko to crypto, forex, and stocks. Actually, halos half ng investment ko or ng pera ko nasa mga high-yielding investment siya. Like, naglalagay ako sa mga coins na stable such as BTC, Solana, Ethereum. Meron din akong XRP, Sui, ayan. The rest, mga altcoins na lang yan. But bulto is nandito. Pero kalahati lang yan, ilalagay ko dyan. Kaya medyo malaki kasi given my risk appetite, aggressive trader kasi or aggressive investor kasi ako. So you have to assess what investor are you? Aggressive ka ba or risk? Once you know exactly ano yung type of risk appetite na meron ka, then definitely it will be easier for you to allocate your investment or yung portfolio niyo. But in my case, since aggressive ako, medyo heavy ako sa mga high-yielding na mga investments. Kasi aggressive na ako. So yung sa Forex, hindi ko siya mako-consider as investment. It's not really part of investment kasi it should be part of lifestyle. So, kapag nagka-calculate kayo ng portfolio nyo, Forex is not something that is included in your investment. But, kung hinuhold nyo siya, say for example, bumibili ka ng gold, pero ang purpose mo is tayo na mag-appreciate yung value niya for like long term, then that you can consider that as investment. But, if mag-trade ka lang naman ng short term, it's not investment. So, another investment na meron ako is mga stocks. So ito, bumibili lang ako ng mga shares from these companies. So meron tayong mga shares from Ayala, Aboitiz, BDO, BPI, Globe, Jollibee Food Corporation, The Keepers Holdings, Petron, SM, PLDT, and URC. So kung mapapansin nyo, halos lahat ng mga binibili ko ay mga blue chip companies. So mga top 30 corporations lang. Hindi ako bumibili ng mga hindi part ng index kasi I don't really have time to watch the market ng Philippines. Kasi busy ako sa market ng gold. Kasi yun yung actively tinitrade ko. So, I don't really have time to check yung mga hindi blue chip companies. Gusto ko na lang yung stable para lesser yung monitoring. At the end of the day, ang ultimate goal ko lang naman dito is just to actually fight the inflation. Kasi if you will be managing your money, you also have to like manage the risk. And one of the risks is inflation. Tapos like last time, di ba nabanggit ko nga sa inyo, na naglagay din ako sa mga treasury bills, mga government securities naman yun. Which is yun naman mga low risk. So naglalagay din ako sa mga low risk, like kalahati din ng investment ko na sa mga low risk. I have time deposit, treasury bills, money market. I also have insurance, mutual fund, Pag-ibig MP2. So at least yung mga yon lesser din ng monitoring ko. Pero ang goal ko is yung mga low risk investment ko is mapataas ko pa. Na aabot yung monthly interest niya na kaya niya nang i-sustain yung lifestyle ko in the future. So I just wanted to inspire you guys na if inisip nyo siya, minanifest nyo, pinagdasal nyo, hindi imposible na mangyari sa buhay nyo yun. Kasi during the time that I was just dreaming when I was in the bank, I was totally clueless kung paano ako mapupunta sa ganong sitwasyon na katulad ng ginagawa ng mga kliyente ko. Siguro, I'm just really good in visualizing. That is why it's very important na right now, you visualize what you want. Kasi if you don't, your mind doesn't know kung ano bang gusto mo, diba? So you have to feed your mind ano yung gusto mo. And magugulat ka na lang, nandun ka na one day, diba? So ayun lang guys for our Monday. Later, I'll try to make market outlook on what's gonna happen for the rest of the week. Pero I think it's more on consolidation.